It would be good here. Good morning, those that are actually here. And looking like quite a dry day to start. Okay. Do I actually want to have... I don't know that I do. I actually might want to shift this. Put this here instead. Good morning. Good morning, Marcel. My biggest apologies about yesterday. I did intend to be on yesterday, but unfortunately just the issues I went through, I just couldn't be here. It's looking like a very, very slow morning, too. Just looking at the stocks that we have to work with here. Was this cutting this out? Yeah, this is cutting this out slightly. Okay, I'll change that. I'll wait for some more people to come in, then I'll explain what happened here. About why I wasn't able to be on yesterday. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, Beach Tune. Good morning, Helmert. Hope you're all doing well today. Yeah, we don't really have a lot on watch. Right, gap scanner mostly dry. Not really seeing anything in terms of volume either. So we might just be sitting tight this morning. I do want to test something. Good morning, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, sir. I want to go ahead and try positioning an order here. Just to see if I'm able to place anything at all. So I'll just throw an order out here for like 120, 110. Yeah, so I'm able to place orders. Yeah, very weird. New broker already? Oh, this is still Weeble, unless you're talking about me switching from Lightspeed. Yeah, my issue yesterday had nothing to do with Weeble. Okay, we're up to 10. I'll go ahead and explain it now that we got 10 people. So, and the market's dead, so I might as well. So yesterday, 1 minute before I was going to go live, I plugged my headset in so that I could talk and whatnot. And I think something short-circuited with my computer, with the audio jack, because the moment I inserted it, OBS crashed and all my monitors flashed black for a moment. And basically the whole computer had to restart. And whenever I rebooted up everything and I looked at my OBS settings, my webcam was all messed up. I have a lot of filters that I use for this to make the frame rate better and the resolution better. So it was basically reverted back to default, and it was very poor quality. So I didn't feel comfortable going live after that. And plus I was also trying to still diagnose what exactly happened. But I think something got shorted or something whenever I put my audio jack in, and that messed it up. I think we're good now. But yeah, that's what happened yesterday. It was very frustrating too, because I was 1 minute just plugging up, everything's all set up, ready to go. And yeah, stuff happens, you know? Yeah, was it a good day yesterday? Because like it's looking like dead today. There's just nothing moving at all at the moment. So I want to check something. So it says that I have 2,000 of buying power, but $0 settled cash, and I can put orders out. I'm curious how big I can make the orders. Maybe that'll give me an idea of how much capital I have to work with, if that is a restriction. Read yesterday? Sorry to hear that, man. It is what it is, you know? Let me try and put out an order here. So we'll keep it at, actually, we'll do $1. That way we can measure it better. So if I buy $1, let's see, can I buy 100 shares at $1? Well, let me place it. Okay, I'm able to put 100. Let me try 500. Able to do 500. Okay, let me try 1,000. 1,000 is able to go through. Yeah, so I've got $1,000 of buying power. It's so weird. Yesterday was insufferable. You didn't miss much. That's unfortunate, but yeah, I guess it is what it is. Good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I guess we're just sitting tight. CIDO or CDIO is popping up. What is this one? Okay, this one's moving a little bit. We got some volume here. Let me go ahead and check here. Okay. Looks like there was news earlier this morning. Right, that explains why we had this gap up here. Yeah, from 6:30 this morning, it looks like. So this, at least I should keep this one on watch, right? There's nothing else really moving, so might as well at least keep this one on the watch. Pretty low float too, according to Thinkorswim. Yeah, so this volume is much higher, actually. This is the highest volume we've had, so this is significant. What was the news on this? So it's a biotech stock. It's a partnership to launch a product in India. So it's probably an India company. I mean, this news isn't even that great. What is this up right now? How can I see what the percentage... Okay, here we are. So 36% up. Seems about right. Daily. All over the place. Is this the day? Okay, there we go. Yeah, this has mostly been pushed down, suppressed. I mean, you got some resistance at around 460, 480. That's probably where resistance really kicks in. You've got some here at 420 as well. Looks like 420 is actively being resistance right now. Good morning, Dangan. Good morning. I'm so happy to actually, I mean, it sucks that it's just dead today, but I'm just so happy to actually be here, because after what happened yesterday, I was just holding my breath. Something else would happen. Yeah, CDIO looks like the only real stock that has any kind of future at the moment. You have MNTS as well. Just looking at the stocks from yesterday. MNTS. Right, this is interesting. Pretty big gap up. But it is a continuation play. Yeah, there's no news today for it. I'll keep it on watch, though. What else was moving yesterday? JCSE. Looks like it did end up moving higher. But the volume's basically dead on it, so probably out of play for that one. Yeah, I think it's just MNTS and CDIO at the moment. Those are the only stocks I see that really look like they have potential. Looking like a really slow start to the day, though. I still feel like I like the 1 minute more, just because the 15-second feels a little too zoomed in for me. It died at the open bell yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised. It feels like it's been slower lately. Glue's kind of moving. Volume has been pretty light up until here. Right, you had this run up yesterday evening. Yeah, there was news at 7 this morning. Yeah, announced positive results. So it looks like this move happened yesterday, anticipating the good news, and this was more of confirmation of the good news. Okay, so Glue actually looks interesting. So Glue's... what is the float on it, though? 65 million, and it's a higher price. It's not really ideal. I mean, I give it a little bit of slack just because you look at the volume here, right? This volume is significantly higher than it has been, and there was news that came out. So there is a little bit of argument for this. The only issue I have is that this could be just way too extended, right? You already had this run up. People anticipated the good results for whatever reason, and then you get the results here, but like you compare this to what the price was before, right? We're up at $20. Just yesterday it was at 13. So there we are significantly extended as well. So there is risk to this. You've got a very big spread too, right? We're talking like honestly like a 50-cent spread on this. So very massive spread. I think it's consolidating a little here, but yeah, this thing can move quite a lot. And while I wouldn't call the volume dead per se, because it has picked up, it is light. So I did put out a test order just to see if I could place an order or not. And it looks like I am still able to place orders, so fingers crossed we see something that's worth buying. I might be able to buy something today. This is pretty big range on this. 19 to 20, 40. So is this day one? No, I'm not counting this as day one. I am using about 1/5 normal size, and I'm using a percentage-based system. So right now, this is basically a test day. Monday was also a test day. Realistically, until the money settles, which I feel like it should be tomorrow. It's definitely going to be before the end of the week. The day that the money settles is basically when I'll be able to actually start it, because I don't even have access to the full capital right now since I've been given temporary buying power. Yeah, this is mostly me experimenting. I did set up for manual orders because on Monday I did not have that set up. So now I can physically put manual orders in. I also have a extra window I've made so I can actually track my orders. That's what I was doing earlier. So yeah, I was making sure that I can actually place orders and I can see my orders so that I can actually know how many shares I took, because I'm doing a percentage-based buying, and that's going to vary based off of the price and my account size. So I'm not necessarily going to be using raw 50 share orders, 100 share orders. It's going to be variable. So I wanted to make sure I could track that, because on Monday because I was using just this window, which is what you guys see, I do not list how many shares I have in the position in this window. So a lot of contention around this $20 to 2060 level. A lot of contention here. It looks strong. I just don't have the conviction to really jump on the front side right now. Very nice breakout, though. Good volume as well. All right, now we'll see if this turns into a topping tail or not. It's a breakdown, but this breakdown wasn't on super high volume. Looks like indecision. Yeah, the fact that a lot of these stocks we're looking at are only up 30% or so, and the volume is super light. Well, it's not super light, but it's a little bit light. It definitely feels like we're in a slower market. Very nice breakout, though. Almost $1 a share move. Pretty big flush back down, too. Yeah, it pops up $1, then drops 80 cents. This one's been very, very difficult to trade, right? You had one real breakdown in curl, but this was such a massive pullback, it looked like it could have just been the end of the run. Right, I mean, trying to buy for the 1 minute high, you would have so much downward risk there. And then even if you would have bought here, you would have been holding for 4 minutes. So this would have been very stressful to buy and hold here. And then after this pop out, like this has kind of gone straight up. You could argue maybe buying here would be interesting, but to me, I just feel like this whole move is kind of extended. Very interesting break and recapture. All right, so you had noise here. You had a breakdown, recapture, stopped out longs. You had a breakout, and then recapture, stopped out shorts. Surprisingly ranging here. The spread has tightened quite a lot, right? Down here, the spread was like 50 cents. Now we've tightened up to around 20, 30 cents. And in some instances, it's less than that. Like I've seen 10 cents or 5 cents a couple times. All right, well, we're at the half hour. We'll see if any news comes out here. CDIO looks like it's selling off a little bit. This has just been kind of grinding higher, hasn't it? Right? You've had a very, very strong uptrend, 17 to 22. And you haven't had any, you've had pullbacks, but they've been bought up immediately. It could just be the case that this news catalyst truly was a good news catalyst. Yeah, we're in breakout territory, right? Even on the daily, I didn't notice, but the daily, we've well exceeded the highs of the daily here. Good morning, sir. Mr. Avter. Yeah, I mean, I'm still just watching right now. To me, I feel like it's too much of a gamble trying to get in on any of these micro pullbacks. There hasn't been a very clean pullback setup. This has just been grinding higher. Interesting too, the volume, it's been picking up now, but it's been relatively low throughout a lot of this move. It could be because of the price, I suppose. All right, plus the float is a bit higher. RIME is getting a little bit of volume. I'll keep an eye on that, see if it ends up resolving into anything. Seeing a little bit of a pullback here on lower volume, but this thing is so extended, I'm a little bit hesitant to buy this. Yeah, RIME. Yeah, I'm watching it. Had some volume and popped, but not super sold on it. Yeah, I am watching it on a side chart, though. Did it have news come out? Did not have news that immediately justified the pop. Yeah, my worry is that whoever was buying into this clearly was accumulating, but if this is going sideways or pulling back, there is a chance that whoever was buying this whole time has just stopped entirely. If that's the case, then this thing's going to pull back hard. So I'm a little hesitant to buy the first pullback here. Right, this could just be the top. Yeah, lower volume. Yeah, RIME, looking like it's getting more now. Good volume inflow there. Similar to this, but not quite as much. All right, we got clear resistance here. This is very high volume. Well, relative volume, yeah. Yeah, I agree. The volume seems to have been lower today. Not only that, but the percentage movers are lower too. Still, this is getting noticeable volume up here around this area. Could actually be doing something. Glue coming down a bit more. First real pullback on glue. Again, though, I'm worried that that just might be the top on glue. One hundred, 100, all the 100s. It's just a slow day today. Things are moving slower. I mean, this is a nice move for sure. This volume kind of came out of nowhere. It feels very noisy here, though. Right at this point, though, this volume is higher than this. So this is certainly in play. Sitting on your hands for now. This could be something worth engaging in. This is probably the highest conviction I've felt on a trade so far today. This one looks like it has potential. I'll take a stab at that. All right, this breakdown was on lower volume than on this push-up. How am I liking Weeble? I mean, it's different, right? There is a learning curve to it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know yet. All right, now let's see if we can reclaim this 150 level. Ton of new features on the last update. Yeah, I saw, like, there was a whole bunch they added. I mean, to me, I'm just trying to use the base right now, you know? I'm not really trying to aim for anything crazy. All right, so we got the 1 minute high. We'll see if it converts or not. Could just be the fake out before the continued bleeding. Glue did curl, so that pullback was a valid entry, it seems. I was skeptical to trust it, though. Thinking about cutting it. Right, there seems to be some kind of wall here around 148. Very strange to see such high volume into this. Tap up to 150, then immediate rejection back. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it. I gave this enough time. Ended up not proving itself. Seeing that tap 150 and then immediately fail didn't help my conviction either. GNPX, I'll take a look. Oh yeah, this definitely looks like it's moving. Had news at 7. Didn't move though. It's only moving now for some reason. It's getting some volume though. 2 million. Lower float. This one's really, really beaten up on the daily. Absolutely crushed on the daily. Might just be rolling over. I'm gonna head to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back before the top of the hour. Also, RIME. I'm kind of glad I got out of that one in hindsight. It looked like it actually rolled over quite a bit more. what ended up happening with RIME. So I bailed right here. This is where I got out 145.5. So dodged about 8 cents of slippage. Unfortunate though how this just didn't end up curling. Yeah, I saw the footprint thing too. I don't know. I don't remember where I saw it. But I saw somewhere they were saying something about the footprint thing. And when I check indicators, it doesn't say anything about the footprint. You got rugged on it yesterday? Yeah. What, on this? Ooh, wow. Okay, so I didn't even realize GMPX looks like it popped up and flushed yesterday too. Yeah, that's good context. Yeah, this thing doesn't have immediate news on it, and it rugged yesterday. Also, death spiral on the daily. Doesn't look safe. On top of that, we just haven't had anything really moving great other than glue, right? Credit to glue. Glue is moving incredibly well. But other than that, we're not really seeing anything else resolving too well. Yeah, RIME completely rolled over. So weird too, right? You have just this huge volume come in, then you see it retest and break through this clear resistance here, and then it just completely rolls over. Crazy. Guess I should be glad I got out where I did. Yeah, where is Flip Flop? Maybe that's why nothing's moving. He's not shorting anything. Planning a short on glue. Yeah, he'd be all over glue. Although it does look like glue has a news catalyst behind it that could be potentially strong. So that might be why it's moving so much. We had 2 minutes till the top of the hour. Hopefully we get something, right? I'm down $2 on the day. Catastrophic result. I don't know if I'll be able to recover it. Gonna step away until open. I don't trust anything so far. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been really trusting anything either. We said it earlier, the volume is just so low right now. It looks super dead at 7 a.m. It seems like we had a couple stocks that moved, excluding glue. But the volume just really isn't there. We're having a little bit of volume, like maybe 50,000 or 100,000, but we're not really having anything beyond that. Yeah, I'm curious about the footprint as well. Actually, I need to check one more thing. I'm sorry. All right, want to be here after all, top of the hour. Need to make sure catch anything if anything comes up. Yeah, I don't like though that Weeble, when they do their volume for the 8 a.m., you just have this weird massive candle volume. It really distorts the volume profile for me. I strongly dislike that. Yeah, if that's going to be a normal thing, then I don't know how reliably I can use that. Because I think it's all stocks, like GNPX, for example. Right? You're going to see this with all stocks with Weeble. Just this massive volume bar candle. I don't know if anybody here with Weeble knows how to disable that or turn that off or anything, but yeah, I can't work with that. That's problematic. Same problem. Right, like you got GMPX, like, just like, for example, you look at this volume profile and like it looks so distorted comparatively, something like Thinkorswim. You can read the volume. I mean, this doesn't have a separated volume bar. I could change that, but just for example, this, you can see the volume much cleaner here. Yeah, I don't trust GNPX, considering its history. Such a slow day. Lucy moving. There was news. Lucy's in a bit of a downtrend. 134 is a critical level. At that. A lot of churning around here. I did try to get fill there. Couldn't get filled though. Had an order out at 134. Unfortunate. Volume on the sell-off was a bit high. Very nice breakout. It's pretty significant volume coming into this. It's frustrating I couldn't get filled down here. But yeah, on this candle, I had an order out at 134, but it had already recovered and I didn't get the fill. Unfortunate. Yeah, incrementing volume. It's crazy. Almost a million volume. The volume is so high right now. I mean, Lucy was good in the past, though. I mean, I know recently it's been bad, but it used to be a hot stock a couple of years ago. But you're right. Right now, it's reputation-wise, it's bad. But it does have news behind it. That's the thing. Thing is, though, even after this kind of move, it's only up 27%. Right, this isn't like a crazy breakout move. Well, it's definitely testing 153 right now. $143. Yeah, 143 to 137 feels like a better range if you're looking for a pullback. Alternatively, you would probably be looking to get in right now if you think it's going to hold here. The volume has decreased, right? We had this increasing volume. Now it's decreasing. I'm pretty neutral with it right now. Okay, I took a small position. So that was low volume on the initial break, but then volume came in after. It could be rolling, or that could be the breakdown to trap people. Again, the one thing this has going for it is that the news is good, right? This had a news catalyst, and the catalyst is good, and you're seeing higher than normal volume. So this has things going for it. When I bought this dip, the volume was pretty low on this initial breakdown, which is why I had the confidence for it. We'll see if we get any resolution now. Nice breakout. Can we break back to the highs? Or are we going to struggle at 152 again? It's pressuring it pretty hard. We'll see. $168 is natural resistance on the daily, so I need to sell before 168. Tried to sell there, couldn't get a fill. Yeah, I was trying to sell at 162. Didn't get a fill for it. Okay, bit of a break there. All right. All right. We're cutting it. Nice little base hit. In 145, out 157. What was mine? Mine was in 145, so we actually got in at the same price. Mine was out at 161. So yeah, we had similar positions, Larry. Cool stuff. It's frustrating too, because I when this spike happened, I didn't anticipate it. I should have put out the limit order to sell, because I knew, I was saying it in real time. I'm like, okay, I need to sell under 168 because that's the daily resistance. And then I'm thinking, okay, should I sell at like 163, 160? I decided on 164, and then the price spikes up. I would have gotten filled at 164, but it was too slow on the order. Realistically, I don't know. I should have just threw the order out, just in the off chance. Like I couldn't have anticipated it would just suddenly spike up. But there's no reason not to have the order out in the off chance it does this. So ended up missing out on about 3 cents per share, but still a winner. It's not even large size anyway, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, this was a good setup though. The catalyst was solid. The volume was very high. Yeah, this had things going for it. Yeah, 168 is daily resistance, so I probably don't touch it here. You're too close to daily resistance. It still looks strong though, right? Probably just be a spectator for if it does decide to make another leg. I guess if it pulls back, could maybe look for like 146 for an entry or something. We've managed to flip it. We went from down a massive $2 on the day to up a massive $3. Absolutely crushing it in the small count. Well, but like, if you have this high a volume with what appears to be a strong catalyst, to me that's very bullish. Even if I can't perceive direction. Right? Noteworthy is that it appears the float is higher than reported. Green is good. Yeah. We got that vol gang going. Exponential gains in the small count. And it is true, right? Because technically I'm using percentage, right? The next day I would be trading with slightly more. Volume gang. Volume gang, rise up. Volume gang. No, this is very high volume though, right? 1 million volume per minute. That's super high. But yeah, we're coming up on the half hour. We'll see if we get anything here. RSI 89 on the 5 minute. I don't doubt it. Yeah, this is very extended right now. Yeah, the critical question is, when this gets back to 168, are we actually going to see it break away, or is this going to become a double top? I don't trust it enough just because the daily resistance is resistance. So I don't really trust it, per se. But it is holding up well. The fact that we kind of curled here without pulling back a lot, it does look bullish. I don't think I'm going to take a long here, but I will say I do have a bullish bias at the moment. Small bias. Like you said, it is extended, and we are approaching resistance. But just the way that we're approaching it, the high volume, very small pullbacks, it looks solid. Yeah, MNTS continuing to sell off. It sold off quite a bit. This is significant. How much volume is this? 12,000? It's not enough. Okay, there's no news on this. I'm a little more interested now. 24,000. Yeah, spread is huge. Huge spread. What was it doing before? 24. Support at 1170. Yeah, I might need to switch to Thinkorswim, unfortunately, for my charting. Because this is obnoxious. You see me like trying to scroll to the left and the right so that it gets, so that I take out this. That's not acceptable. If I'm having to go back and forth like that, I might just have to switch charts. But you were saying 1170 support. I agree. Looks like decent support. We did break through it though. 24,000 volume is noteworthy. 1120s also looks like good support. Yeah, this candle is totally messing up my rhythm. Yeah, I think I'll investigate today. If I can't find a way to remove that, then I'm just going to have to go back to Thinkorswim charting because I can't have that. RELI action. Take a look at it. Ooh, I mean, it's cheap. But you're correct on the action, right? 159,000 volume. It's under $1, so I'm not going to touch it. But good call out on it, though. Very high volume on it. Does have news at the half hour as well. You use volume profile so you don't see that flaw. I'll go ahead and note that. Chart settings, chart display, overlap volume, turn it off. Okay. I won't, I'm writing down your message. I'm not gonna mess around with settings here just because I'm half afraid I'm gonna like click something and it's gonna show my account information or something. But I wrote down what you said. I'll look into both the things you two suggested. Lucy, yeah, I do appreciate it. Thank you. Lucy did curl back up, hit 168, daily resistance on the dot before flushing and rolling over. We'll see what it does from here. Yeah, you can't make it up, right? I was talking about the daily resistance at 168, and it touches it on the penny. And super high volume, too. You also like the volume profile? Yeah, I'll check it out. Right. Still got a day or two till the money settles, so I'm fine with experimenting with settings. Just want to make sure I got it right. AXTI is moving. It's a bit more expensive, though. MNTS did end up bouncing, but I was too thrown off to even really assess it properly. You know, maybe something I should do. Another note I'm going to take here is while you can see my orders and my profit on them, you can't, like, you don't really know exactly down to the penny what I'm up. So I think what I might do for tomorrow is I might make a separate window that just tracks the profit and loss so that you guys can actually see how much I'm up or down. Because this feels like it's not super, you can tell I'm up, but like you don't, you gotta like do the math and then it gets complicated. It's not very clean. VP has way more useful information and more reliable to price action. What is VP? I don't know what that is. Volume profile. I'm assuming that's what that is. Yeah, I'll check it out. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're kind of ranging here now. This has already extended quite a bit. The news was good, but maybe not amazing. Okay, yeah, this is just not in play at all. other than RELI, not really seeing any stocks moving that are new. Point of control is huge. I've heard that term before. I've seen some people use it. I think more of like fair value gaps, right? Areas where price did not properly reach discovery, just kind of went past it. That's more of what I look at. I don't know if point of control is similar concepts to that. I would assume it is. But I have heard of it. I know it has to do with volume and where the price is being tugged towards. But I don't really know much beyond that. Tells you where a lot of transactions took place, and that uses a magnet if volume is there. And that use is magnetic if volume is there. ICT. Isn't that the, like, scammer? I mean, maybe I'm mistaken. Isn't he a scammer or something? Or like he faked his trades? I could be mistaken, and I don't want to, use any defamation. I thought it was proven that he was like faking his results, though. And hey, if I'm wrong, then don't assume that what I'm saying is true. That's just what I remember about him. I thought he was faking his trades. No, it's a phenomenon in index and gold trading. Okay. Or maybe he coined the phrase then. I don't know. Watch him to know. Yeah. I don't know. Like I watched a documentary by some guy who called out that guy, and from again, this has been like a year or two ago, so I could be recalling it incorrectly, but it looked pretty convincing to me. With that said, even if someone is faking their trades, the things that they say could still be valuable and could still be true. One does not necessarily mean the other. So I will say that. But honestly, I don't want to keep talking about him and like the defamation thing, just because it's something I haven't really looked at for years, and I could just be mistaken entirely. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now, not really touch on it anymore. But yeah, nothing really else is moving super well, right? Lucy's kind of just going sideways now. Could definitely break out, right? This is still very bullish, but it has ranged. Oh, actually, I mean, even looking at the volume on this is still elevated. Right? We're having several 100,000 a minute, so it's still elevated. Yeah, this one's just too cheap. Guess we'll watch Lucy, just because there's nothing else to really watch right now. I mean, it is breaking out. Still don't trust it, but very curious to see how it plays. Slow day. Yeah, it's... I mean, what? I took 2 trades today. Technically, it should have been 3. Like, I nearly got filled over here. This would have been a winner as well, because I would have gotten filled at 134. I would have never went with red on the trade, so it would have been break even at worst if I had gotten filled. But yeah, just not a lot of opportunity, I felt like. The volume, it felt like the volume was lighter in general today. We weren't seeing big percentage movers other than glue. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes, I guess. At least I was actually able to be here for the for the session this time, right? And hey, this is still good practice, right? I got to practice with the hotkeys a little bit. We still got experience, exposure. We got to experience the issue with the volume, and now I can work on getting that fixed with the 8 a.m. volume surge and get that resolved before I'm trading with larger size. Right. Biggest thing is really just resolving the issues and trading with getting the issues resolved before I trade with the increased size. But yeah, this is pressuring very hard, right? We did break through 189, 168. So this is pressuring quite hard, right? Very high volume as well. Yeah, Lucy is trying. Yeah, Lucy is trying for new highs. It's still bullish, right? This is a very, very strong bullish pattern. I'm going to spectate here. I'm not going to trade it, but looks strong. I am concerned, though, that despite all this pressure, we're not breaking through. I suspect if we do break, it's going to break hard. And if it only does a soft break, like to 170, I would anticipate it's going to roll over. Because a break, after that much pressure and only getting 2 cents, it feels to me like it's going to roll. SASBP thoughts. I can take a look at it. Oh, that's okay. SBP. Super cheap stock. Right, 18 cents. So this is totally out of my range because I don't trade things under $1. Right, but it is a very clear uptrend. Has news too, it looks like. Volume, very huge volume, millions. But it is only 10 cents or 17 cents. So it's not super crazy. Float, very high float as well. 139 million. I mean, just in general, I don't touch penny stocks that are this slow. They tend to roll over and I get more slippage. But at least currently it's holding up nice. Chris Pop. Whoa, yeah. Very interesting on this one. What the heck happened? Okay. So it had news at 8. But but it just didn't do anything for 45 minutes and then just randomly pops. Very strange. And unfortunately, we had low volume on the pop, high volume on the sell-off, so I'm not inclined to touch it. A45 news. Oh, yeah, that's on me, yeah. I gotta get used to that. Switching the news feed. I keep forgetting that. Thank you. Yes, it does have news. Announces private placement. Okay. Thank you, boss. Real one? No problem, man. And again, thank you for calling that out about the news. There is news. I just didn't go to the right ticker, so I missed that. With my setup, everything but the news updates, so if I miss that, then that can be problematic. But yeah, this news catalyst is really kind of a curveball. It could mean any number of things depending on the conditions of the settlement. I've seen it be a very strong catalyst. I've seen it be a very weak catalyst. Also worth noting, this stock is really being beaten up here. Right, it had been really just suppressed. Within the last few months, it's gone down 50%. Interesting is that we're having volume inflow. There could be something to this. Right, the fact that volume's coming in here is interesting. Yeah, 500,000. Really high volume. Cent drop there. Very big volume on this push down though. Still very high volume. Very difficult to tell if it's going to bounce here. Two very high volume candles and the red is concerning. I mean, it could bounce here, right? This did break down and recover, and the volume was high, so this could be a pivot. The issue is that it's too hard for me to decipher that. Don't remember the name, but a big YouTuber says he likes playing these big drops. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, there's a person for everything. I can't really say I know who you're talking about, though. Don't really know people that like buying knives. Well, if I miss the bottom here, then it is what it is. I think this was too dangerous to buy. This catalyst is very ambiguity filled. It's very unclear. Right? You got to really know the conditions of the private placement to know what to expect. And this volume being very high and very whiplashy, I can't get a clear read on it. Yeah, quick shout out before I wrap up the stream for the day here. If you guys are new, then I would appreciate it if you subscribe. I am relatively new with day trading on Weeble, as you can see, and I will be starting a small count challenge on this soon. So if you're interested in that, I will be streaming every day. Granted, that's assuming that my OBS doesn't die like yesterday. But yeah, just want to give a quick shout out for that. Yeah, with only 5 minutes left, I feel very hesitant. Like, I don't trust this stock to resolve well. So I'm probably just going to spectate it unless I see something very clean. Exponential gains, be prepared. Exactly. Got to be ready for those exponential gains, right? That $3, that might convert to 1 extra share per trade after like 3 days. But no, I will be curious to see how it performs. Once I'm trading with the full amount in my account, I can be a little bit more liberal with it because now the commissions aren't holding me back. I can actually expend more capital freely. So I'm willing to use the capital a bit more aggressive as a result. So I'm curious how that's going to play into the account. right? Like I'm up $3 today, but with the trades I took today, I was only trading like 30 shares a trade. 30 shares, 25 shares a trade. So yeah, if I'm estimating for 15 trades a day, right? We're talking about me trading maybe 10x bigger size. Although I guess if I'm only taking 2 trades a day because the market's dead, then maybe there's just not going to be much gain or loss across the board until the market heats up. Curious what the result will be. I mean, I only took 2 trades today, and I mean, we'll call it 2.5 because I tried to take a third one and didn't get filled. But I didn't really take that many trades, and there wasn't that much opportunity either. Yeah, I don't trust this stock. I just don't have a read on it. The volume is very suspiciously high. The price action is strange. Yeah, I don't know. The private placement is critical to understand to know what the stock's going to do, and I just don't have that information. It seems like most people didn't take a trade today. I'm surprised that it's this high, but I'm not surprised that the majority haven't traded either. Yeah, this definitely feels like it's been a slower day. That's what he was talking about, buying a knife drop, which I admit I'm not used to buying that type of drop, even though, or even thought of trading that way. Today's deal, massive dilution, 75-cent warrant strike price for Chris. Right, and don't get me wrong, I understand that anytime there's a private placement, inherently there's going to be downward selling pressure, right? By doing a placement, you are basically having someone else sell to the trader, to the shareholders. So private placements are inherently bad, but on the flip side, there could be conditions, right, to where it would be more justifiable. So like you're saying, 75 warrant strike price for Chris. I understand that, but you also have to ask how much did they pay for that? Because, for example, if they paid so where they will only be making money if the price goes above, we'll just say 140. Because true, they could cash the warrants immediately, but maybe they paid a deficit to get those warrants at that price. I don't know. I will say that if the warrants were for 75 cents and they were immediately exercisable, I mean, they would just be shotgunned right now if they were profitable to do so. So maybe there's restrictions on the warrants, like maybe they have to wait a couple months. Or maybe the warrants, they had to pay so much for the warrants that it's not worth them executing right away. A lot of things to consider. But you are looking at the right things, right? Surface level, you need to see what is actually in it, what warrants are being sold. The only reason I'm really fighting you is because if that is true, the warrant situation, this would have immediately plunged. And the fact that it hasn't tells me that there's more to it than just warrants at 75 cents. There's something else going on that's keeping the stock held up. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get involved with this. Went from very interesting with this incrementing volume, and now it just looks like we have a bear flag. Okay, so now that we've given more time for people to vote, it looks like the majority has not traded, but more people have traded than was initially being reported. And this is actually about what I expected. I suspected that around half the people hadn't traded today, just because of how slow it's been. But yeah, we're basically at 9:05. I'm probably going to call it here. I'll go ahead and let me pull up my notes. I'll go ahead and look at the volume bar for extra widgets or indicators that kind of separated from this, see if that fixes it. I'll go ahead and look at the volume profile you guys were talking about as well, see if I can get anything from that. And lastly, I will go ahead and I'll try to make a separate window to show my P&L for the day. That way you guys don't have to kind of just look at my results and then try to math it out yourself. You guys shouldn't have to do that. That's a quality of life thing I should be doing for you. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I suspect within the next day or two, my funds will settle and I can actually trade with the full amount. But until then, this will be good practice for me to get used to things. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back tomorrow. Take care, everybody. All right. Why did this